So here's an example of computing the variance and the standard deviation of a probability distribution. Slightly different than what you've been used to doing, but here we have an example of a probability distribution. So we have x, which represents our random variable, 2, 5, 6, 3, and 1. And the probability is 0.1 for 2, so there's a 10% chance of getting a 2, a 20% chance of getting a 5, a 60% chance of getting a 6, a 7.5% chance of getting a 3, and a 2.5% chance of getting a 1. So this is a probability distribution. Our formulas for the mean, or mu, of a probability distribution is mu equal to the sum of x times p of x. And that's it. So it's just the sum of x times p of x. The formula for the variance of a probability distribution is sigma squared equals the sum of x minus mu squared times p of x. Basically, all you need to do is follow the formula. Let's do the mean first. The mean of this is going to be, so we take the x and we multiply it with the p of x. So basically, it's going to be mu equal to 2 times 0.1 plus 5 times 0.2 plus 6 times 0.6 plus 3 times 0.075, and last of all, plus 1 times 0.025. And the sigma means to add, so we're going to add all of these. So if we use our calculator, it's just 2 times 0.1 equals. Let's just store it in memory location 1. Clear. We could do this all in a chain operation as well. 5 times 0.2 equals. Store 2. 6 times 0.6 equals. Store 3. 3 times 0.075 equals 0.225. Store 4. And last of all, 1 times 0.025, which is 0.025. Store 5. Recall 1 plus recall 2 plus recall 3 plus recall 4 plus recall 5 equals. The mean, the population mean, is equal to 5.05. And that's our mean. Next, we can calculate the variance. You can also do this. By Excel, as you will, if you wish. So let me just quickly show you. So here's my x. Here's my p of x equals. This is D15, cell D15 in my Excel sheet, times, which is the star symbol, 0.1, which is E15. That's 0.2. So I'm just going to set a few extra decimal places, and then I'm going to drag down. The sum of these equals sum bracket, and highlight these values. Answer is 5.05, as you can see. All right, get rid of that. Next, we want to compute the variance. So the variance is, as you can see up here, what this tells you to do is to take each individual x, or random variable, subtract it by mu, which we've just computed to be 5.05. We square it, and then we multiply it by the corresponding probability. So in the first case, and we do that for every x that we have. In the first case, it will be 2 minus, let me write it out. It's a sum of, so we add them all. It's 2 minus 5.05 squared times, in this case, 0.1. Plus, the next one will be 5 minus 5.05 squared times 0.2 plus 6, that's the third one here, minus 5.05, square that after you subtract, and multiply it by 0.6. We'll continue in the bottom, plus 3 minus 5.05, square that, multiply it by 0.075, and plus 1 minus 5.05 squared, we're doing the last one, times 0.025, which is the corresponding probability. We can take our calculator and do each of these separately. Clear. So 2 minus 5.05 equals squared times 0.1 equals store 1. The next one, 5 minus 5.05 equals, press the square button, multiply by 0.2 equals store 2. The next one, 6 minus 5.05 equals squared times 0.6 equals store 3. The next one, this one here, 3 minus 5.05 equals squared times 0.075 equals store 4. And last of all, 1 minus 5.05 equals squared times 0.025 equals store 5. Now we add them all. Recall 1 plus recall 2 plus recall 3 plus recall 4 plus recall 5 equals 2.198. And that's our variance. The standard deviation will be the square root of 2.198. The square root of that is root button 1.482. 1.482, as you can see. And that's the standard deviation. You can also use Excel. Let me copy this again and place it here. So, what we need to do is to take, so the first thing we're going to do is use Excel. We're going to call this one x minus mu. X minus mu is going to be equals, to start a formula, 2, which is in this case M21, minus, I'm just going to type in 5.050 equals. I'm going to do this step by step, and since we're using Excel, I can just drag down and it does the same thing for the rest of them. So this is just x minus the mean. The next thing we need to do is x minus mu, and we're going to square it. Equals. This first value is minus 3.05. We're going to square it. Drag down. And the last one will be x minus mu squared times p of x. So it's really this number, 9.3025 in the first one, which is x minus mu squared, times, which is star, this cell, N21, which is 0.1. 0.93025, and I just drag. So if the last column here, x minus mu squared times p of x. And what I need to do is I need to add these, equals sum of these values here. As you can see, we get the same number, 2.1975, or we round it to 2.198. And the standard deviation will be the square root of that. So here it's going to be the variance. The standard deviation will be equal SQRT square root of that value, 1.482. As you can see, we have the same values. Right? And that's how you compute the variance and the standard deviation, and also the mean of a probability distribution.